So coming into 2013, I had a coaches change. Yeah, this was the year that I thought everything would go more smoother. You know, I'm the oldest wide receiver at this point, like classification wise. Me and my other teammate, Tevin Brown, we made the College Football Performance Award. Which is known as the CFPA, the watch list. We made that. I made it for the CFPA Kick-Off Returner Award, and TB made it for the CFPA All-Purpose Performance Award, or Performance of the Year Award. We get a whole new coaching staff. Coach Bill Clark is the coach of my junior year. He brings his staff from South Alabama. He has a great coaching staff. And this room of receivers, I had Josh Bars, Telvin, TB, Dalton Strews, Marquise. We had got Anthony. We had guys that can play. Earl. Cornelius Williams was my receiver coach that year. It's crazy because I grew up watching him as well because he was on MTV two-a-days for Hoover Heights. It's like a high school show that was in Alabama when John Parker Wilson was in Hoover, and he played receiver there with Coach Rush Prost. It was like, and he went to Troy, and so it was always like, man, I used to watch you, and now you coaching me, so like, I want to get the best out of what you done learned because he played with John Parker Wilson. He had one of the best coaches in the state of Alabama at that time. And I wanted to understand like his process as well. He had that year, getting used to a whole new coaching staff was crazy. But I had Coach Williams and I had Coach Larry Smith. Those two people right there that I can go to, and the reason why anytime I think a black African American can go to a coach and he actually understands him and hears him out, I think that's amazing. For example, you take Deion Sanders and what he's doing for the HBCU school. He understands those guys because he knows where some of these guys may have come from, the backgrounds. You know, it's nothing against race or anything, but they have a better understanding about things. Not saying that the coaches that I had before didn't understand me, because Coach Thurman definitely understood me. Coach Ogles and Coach Williams also understood me at that time too. It's my junior year. At this time, I'm wearing a helmet, a pad, like a helmet protector, due to my concussions that I had. And I'm wearing it throughout spring practice and fall practice. I was expecting and a lot of people was expecting this year to be the year that I spark out. But we was playing Alabama State. We opened up with Alabama State in Montgomery, Alabama. Isaiah Crowell was the running back at this time at Alabama. He transferred from to Alabama State. Half opening kickoff return, I end up pulling both of my hamstrings, high to low and a low to high. So this caused another bumpy road for me. I tried to come back, but I couldn't because I couldn't pass the conditioning test because I couldn't cut or plant a certain way without me limping or my hamstrings bothering me. I couldn't perform up to be at full speed, and Coach Skidmore and EJ and his staff, I think they did a fantastic job by not putting me back out there on the field, knowing that I couldn't cut or plant at that time. My first game actually back was the EIU game, Eastern Illinois, playing against Jimmy G, who also had a receiver at that time, Eric Lohr. Jimmy G is playing for the 49ers right now. I would have came back earlier before EIU, but I have to accept this because as a man, I accept all responsibilities and my fault. I wasn't doing the rehab, the treatment that they was trying to tell me to do, because I was thinking as a male or as an alpha that I'd been here before. You know, I got injured my sophomore year and I bounced back from it. But this right here was a totally different situation. I think I needed this for a wake-up call. I think I needed that moment to happen because I needed it to wake me up in life and also know that I need to have a plan behind football. Because at that time, I was just playing football, and of course I was on a full scholarship, but it was just not thinking outside of football. This was my escape key. So after playing against EIU, I wasn't playing that much because of my hamstrings. Then I played Eastern Washington, played against Cooper Kupp on that red turf field they got out there. And I actually come back for the first round playoff. We played Sanford Bulldogs, a school from Birmingham, Alabama. And then we beat them. We go to the second round playoffs. We play McNeese. We go to McNeese. We beat them. And then we're playing at Eastern Washington. Played Eastern Washington. Played against Cooper Kupp on that red turf field they got out there. It was crazy. Yeah, that game was wild. So after losing to Eastern Washington, I had a decision to make. I always used to joke around with my players, my teammates, and tell them that I'm going to play ball overseas or I'm going to end up transferring. And they would tell me, Gabe, you're just joking, man. You always say something like that. You're just injured right now. Just recover and come back and let's win a championship. My roommate, Pierre Warren, decided to leave as well for the NFL draft his junior year. He ended up getting picked up by New Orleans Saints. At that time, we have plenty of guys. You still have Josh Bars. We have enough guys coming back. You have Eli Jenkins. You had Saran Neal. You had everybody that came back. Tremaine Pope ended up going to the NFL. You had Eli going to the NFL. You had Saran. Right now, he's playing for the Buffalo Bills. You know, we had a ton of guys. But for me, I felt like it was best for me to transfer. My time at Faulkner was amazing. Ever since I stepped foot on campus, those guys remember who house everybody hung out at. We had a game system, and we'll play games, play spades. Man, Faulkner was another experience that I'm glad I got to have. We was right around the corner from ASU, Auburn Montgomery. It's like a school there. Huntington was right around the corner. And then you didn't have, like, Auburn wasn't that far. University of Auburn was not that far from us. But when I went to Faulkner, that was probably man, it was tough because I played on a lot of talented teams. I played on 2012. We had so many talents on that team. 2011, 2012 Jacksonville State team. Even 2013, we were so talented on that team as well. I get to Faulkner, and we have my quarterback as well, Terrell Robinson, transfer in from UTC, University of Chattanooga, Tennessee, who I also played when I was at Jacksonville State. But he's my quarterback now. We go through the season, and I did this. So we winning at Faulkner, and everybody's making plays. That receiving core was so deadly as well. So we make the first round of the playoffs. 3 weeks before, our starting quarterback suffering an ACL tear, and it's crazy. All right, we planned the first round playoffs. We thinking Terrell can come back and at least, because we didn't know all the details, but then we found out later on that it was an ACL tear, and he would basically, he can't play at all. So our backup quarterback came, and he was taking reps. So it came to a point to where he was going to be the starting quarterback for the Lindsey Wilson. We beat Lindsey Wilson during the season, and then we had to go to them, the playoff game, the first round. It was 20-9 at halftime.
That lets you know.
All right, but it was 20-9 at halftime. We end up coming back, but we end up losing 20-17 at the last play, and that's the craziest thing as well.
Man.
I just lost my last game of my senior year, and I knew my career was going to be over. I was crying like a baby, I promise you guys. I was the last senior to even leave the field, get dressed, shower, stuff like that. Then I left a LCS school to come to a NAIA school, and I was thinking that we were going to go far, which we had the chance to go super far if the injury stuff wouldn't have happened. One of my teammates, BJ Turner, his mom came to me, and she said she's proud of me. They are from Spring Garden, not that far from Center, Alabama, Cherokee County. But she came to me and she said, "Hey, you're going to be special. Keep your head up. I'm proud of you. You're going to be special. You're going to go somewhere." And at that time, I just lost my game. I wasn't taking everything in my head and stuff like that. I was balling, and she just gave me a hug. And at this time, we come back after we losing that. Everybody know the reason why I came to Faulkner. Basically finished my football career. and because I had to change my major to go there, when I got there, I had to change my major. So it was better for me to go back to Jacksonville State and finish my major and credits that I had at Jacksonville State instead of just staying in Faulkner for an extra year or two and I graduate from Faulkner. When I can go back to Jacksonville State and I graduated the next semester, if that makes sense. While at Faulkner, I went through a dark moment. And when I say a dark moment, I was not going to class. If I went to class, I'd go check in on the roster, and then I'd leave. Guys at Faulkner, they know where they would see me. They see me either in my room, like because we had spade nights and games and stuff, or, they see me in the gym shooting basketball, or they see me working out in the gym that we had, or they see me in the cafeteria. Those are the 4 spots that you would basically see me after that loss, because I was literally going there for football, and my football career, I felt like it was over, so I didn't have no reason to be there. I wasn't there mentally, if that will be the right word. Even though they say student athlete, some people take that athlete students. I was one of those guys who took the athlete students because I was only coming there for football. End of that semester, in December, I received NCs. So for those who don't understand what NCs is, that means not complete. So I could be placed on, it was something that happened during the football season as well. I won't go into details because everybody at Faulkner know what happened. But they tried to put me, my boy Joe Jones, Terrell Robinson, and my boy Trump. They tried to put us on school probation for some stupid stuff. But then also they tried to put me on academic probation. So I'm like, nah, I'm going back to Jacksonville. December, I come back to Cherokee County. I'm staying with my cousin, Maury, Donna Chambers, Malcolm, all them, Kai, Melandro. I love you guys. Dron, I love you guys because y'all was there for me the most when my mom was in Florida and I just now coming back from college. And I had other family members who was just telling me like, hey, it's time for you to get a job. You got to get a job. You got to do this. You got to come take care of the family on the hill but my other family on my, the Chambers side, they would support me 100% and let me stay with them. I'll forever be grateful for that. So what happened was I was totally done. I had a CFL trial at Faulkner, and one of my coaches, Coach Jamie and Coach Houston, they knew Chris Jones at this time, Edmonton Eskimos CFL head coach. He was the head coach of the Edmonton Eskimos. So it was teams that was coming to the office and stuff like that, and there was already recruiting and stuff. I remember that I was in the gym because I wasn't going to class, and a scout came and they realized who my quarterback was throwing the ball, and they actually got me. And a GA called me, said, hey, where you at? Basically told him where I was at. He was like, hey, I'm about to come get you. I come in the office, and it's a scout that I was talking to at Jacksonville State. And they said, hey, Chambers? And I was like, yeah. He said, Jacksonville State Chambers? I said, yeah. He said, they told him that I quit school.
Not good at all.
I ended up not getting that scouts and going that way because I knew once you leave a program always going to talk bad about you, even if it's for yourself. I'm letting you athletes know that right now. But I still got love for Jacksonville. What I did there is still love for me and the players and some of the coaches there. But it was just an incident where under the table activities happen, and now I leave. I'm not getting those benefits and stuff like that. So now it's different. Anywho, we had a CFL trial on our turf, and Coach Jamie was telling me like, hey, and Coach Houston was telling me like, hey, you gotta, Coach Jones he wanna see you, he wanna talk to you. So I go back to Faulkner, and I have this trial, and it's on a Saturday. So the thing is about Canadian football, you get a head start, and I was already fast, so yeah, it wasn't that much. Anyways, the only thing he told me, he said, hey, you have to work on I was a little bit tight, but come again, I wasn't always, like, I was in that dark moment. I was not worrying about what to do with this and that. So right then and there, on the spot, I got offered to come to the CFL rookie mini camp in Myrtle Beach, Florida.